record this live, record settings. Yeah. Hopefully this is recording. Turn record over here. Pause. Recording. Recording in progress. All right. Welcome. Thanks for doing all that. It said I was too young to go live. It wouldn't take my facial recognition. It said you were too young. I think it was the shirt that threw off. Everybody's watching at home. I'm not able to go live with this. It's recorded because it said that I failed the facial recognition test to be over 18. Don't know whether to be pissed off or happy, but y'all have to listen to it later. All right. And I think this is recording, hopefully, live. Oh, all right. Well, we'll see. All right, let's go. What's up, man? How are you doing? Oh, I gotta spotlight myself first. Yeah. So word of mouth. So you talk about word of mouth and what's the best possible marketing scheme, and all right, what the best possible marketing scheme is, and yeah, and so the thing is there's no wrong way or right way to market. It's what's the best way to find out what's working is to market and then track. Everybody comes in, hey, how'd you hear about me? Where did you come from? Why are you here right now? And that's the only way to find out which thing is working the most. And then you'll see, oh, it's because of reviews, or it's because people told them, people are telling people to come in, or I saw you on TikTok, or wherever. And totally depends on where I'm at. I'm often in New Orleans, walking around. People are like, oh, I saw your Instagram post. That was probably how you found out about me, right? Whereas if I'm in California, they're gonna be like, oh, hey, yeah, I love your sandwiches, kind of thing. So each place is different, and then moving with that, I'd say because then you have what worked for me. So outside of tracking what's going to work for you, is what worked for me was, and I did a similar thing in the beginning. What I first did is that I took first I had a bunch of good-looking young college kids going out and pre social media ages, like 2007, 2008, where they would go out and I'd give them promo flyers to pass out. And then so I also wanted to track who was bringing who in. So obviously I knew if the flyer came in that they did a good job, but how do I know who did a good job? So I gave Michael all the green flyers, I gave Jennifer all the blue flyers, and I gave Jessica all the yellow flyers. So I know if a yellow flyer came in, I would Jessica still working. If more yellow flyers are coming in, I need to know. Well, I'm not Jennifer out anymore because no red flyers come in. And then I also had them compete against each other, where I would say, all right, whatever flyers they get the most in this week, you're going to get an extra hour, $1 an hour raise just for that week. Whoever got the most, whoever I got the most flyers in. So it wasn't just about, hey, they're going to go out there and waste time or be on their phone or whatever. It was a legit competition. I wouldn't tell them who was winning till literally the end. I wasn't gonna be like, oh well, Michael, you're kicking everybody's ass, so you can just go out and put your foot on, It's just like, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. And even though I'd say you won, I wouldn't say you won by 30, or it'd just be like you won, kind of thing. So I did that to track who specifically was doing it. But obviously, it's 2025 and social media is a big thing. And for me, social media is word of mouth. So whether that's influencer coming in, doing a review, or famous people, I've got a lot of famous folks that come into my place and then they post about it. So, which is also like old school influencers, celebrities, which is why people spend money, or brands spend money on celebrities and athletes for their products, right? So you'll have to see what specifically in your business is. Like I know you have books that you put out, and then you go out and you do talks and meet and greets with, whether it's bringing a petting zoo or whatever, right? So there's no right way that it's only if you don't track it, it is a bad way. Obviously you want people to speak for you, or influencers to do it for you, or just have a natural product to do it for you. One thing that I saw on was, I know I probably speak about Alex Ramosi a lot, because out of the people that I follow, the only like business people I follow is like a small handful. Maybe I don't see the value in other business people that I used to follow. I'm like, well, they haven't come up with one idea in 3 years that I would think was good. Even though I respect them as business people, I don't like their ideas. What he said was the whole review thing, and one of the posts I saw was how we're always pimping out our businesses, and then obviously we're biased. If I go, hey, at Ike's, you're gonna be like, of course you're gonna say. I mean, even here in New Orleans, we're brand new, right? So me standing outside and going, people are walking by often. People walk by, like this person just walked in with the menu and she walked up. I'm over here and I'm thinking, there's literally no place in this whole, like within a 30-minute walk, that she's gonna find that's better than here. But she's gonna be like, well, of course you're gonna say that, even though it's true, right? So, but if I said, hey, look at my 15 straight Sandwich of the Year awards, or look at my reviews where we're a perfect 5 stars in Google, she'd probably like, oh shoot, all right, yeah, I am gonna come in and eat here, right? So exactly, yeah, unless somebody told her. But we have a huge mix of people just walking by because it's New Orleans, and people that are somebody that told them, somebody that saw me on the internet. So for her, if in the window it was 5 star review, 5 stars, which is what Alex Ramosi said to do, what you already have reviews, so get all your reviews, put them in the picture frames that I have in the store. Here are with celebrities, and they cost us like 50 cents, 75 cents. He's like, get a bunch of 75 cents or $1 frame, and put every single review that you have that's 5 stars, and just put them all over the place. So somebody's gonna walk in. Like if she was greeted and at the window was all the celebrity windows, which I don't have the celebrity photos in there, she'd probably be like, oh, well, Steph Curry ate here, or Halsey ate here, or Robin Williams, or whatever. She might be like, oh, okay, well, in that case, but they're not there. And then, or especially if there was 5 star review, I loved Ike's, it was the best thing I ever ate. And then somebody else underneath, dude, Ike's is the best. And then let me do that. If it was just a wall of 5 star reviews, that is another great. And while that's word of mouth, or like second, it's proof. It's social proof. Yeah. But like you sent a message, and then what they said no. They just didn't respond, or did they read it? They didn't respond. Did they open that, like on social media, right? You can see that if they open the mail or not, unless they have, are they opening it and not responding, or they're just not responding because they didn't read it? Well, that maybe, yeah. True. So I would what I me being approached by people a lot is if somebody's sending me a DM and they don't follow me, I'm not reading it. Like if unless it's some like celebrity, it's like, hey, whatever. I look at the I receive lots of messages. I look at the messages, even the ones that go to my request folder. I wouldn't say every single one. I'm not on there all the time. I do have a pretty big um, thing. And then I would also then go to look at them, and if they don't follow me, and they're not like famous or offering to give me $1 million, or they're like gorgeous and trying to sleep with me, like why would I respond to the message? They want my time, they want my effort, they want whatever. So I would say the first thing, and I'll conversely is when somebody does follow me, and then I'm like, oh, so and so always comments on, like you'll see in the comments, oh, hey, I think I know at blah 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 blah. They comment on my stuff a lot, so I'm at least gonna open the message and look at it. So if you want to get something from anybody, you shouldn't just be like, hey, what's up? I'd like to work with you. It should be you should be commenting on their things. You should be following them. Like, hey, great video. I really love how you snuggled that raccoon in the video, or whatever you're gonna say, and then later on, and not it's not gonna work 100% of the time, but I'll tell you right now, if somebody comments on all my stuff or a lot of my things, and they send me a DM, I always open it, and even if I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that, I'm like, hey, thanks so much for the support. I appreciate you. I'm not gonna do that out of respect that they've been commenting on my stuff, and out of respect that they're supporting me, versus somebody asked me for a free sandwich the other day, beautiful woman, and I'm like, why would I give her a free sandwich? She didn't offer me anything. She wasn't like, hey, can I get a free sandwich? I'm down on my luck, or I'm a student and I'm hungry. I'll post about it on my social media feed and tell everybody how amazing you are. I would have been like, yeah, that's worth $10 to me. Like even if they weren't gorgeous, even if they were, but and they didn't even follow me. So I'm like, well, I'm not even going to respond at all. So it's all about that. And there's definitely been people that comment all the time. I don't want to say this because then people. There's people that comment all the time, and then I respond to their messages because they're commenting. Yeah, yeah. Somebody asked me for 200 sandwiches the other day. 200 for some charity event, and I was like, you don't even follow me, and you're asking me for $2,000. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to donate $2,000, but to a different charity that I like. So it's not that I don't want to donate the money. It's why would I support your charity when you won't even support me with a follow? They're like, oh well, I'm sorry, and blah blah blah. It's about this, and I literally wrote back, every single charity on the planet, like 99.9 of them, are fucking great charities. Are bleeping great charities. So why should I give my money to yours? It's the reason, not right. So, and if they were like, hey, we're doing some things for kids, or it wasn't for kids, it was, I don't remember what it was for. Hey, we're doing something for this, and they really love you, and we would love it if you can support us, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth, and we'll do the best that we can. And I probably would have like, well, I can't do 200 sandwiches because that's a lot of sandwiches. But what budget do you have? You don't have a zero budget. I could work with them. But because they asked for 200 sandwiches and they don't even follow me, it's like, why would I even want, like, help me want to help you? So when you're talking about you reaching out to influencers, it's the same thing. When I reach out to influencers, I'm like, hey, what's up? It's Ike. I'd love to feed you. No, um, no, you don't have to do anything. I just want to feed you. I'm a fan of your yes or whatever they do. And like 85% of the time, they're like, oh yeah, I'll take free food, right? Why wouldn't they? And if they're a super celebrity, like sometimes they don't even read it at all. Yeah, and sometimes somebody really famous does read it and then they don't respond, and I'm like, okay. You should try. And you just need to do like one a day or go back. Hey, I know you're busy, or just open this up, and I'd literally love. But what is it that they're going to get out of helping? Because everybody's always about that. Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like something like, hey, I'd really love to make a video with you. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna bring a camera crew and I'm gonna do this and all these things and I'll get you all these videos and then you can post it on your own social media afterwards too. You can get whatever content while the crew's there and you have anything specific you want to shoot, they'll take care of you too. And then if they're like, oh yeah, actually I want to shoot some content, or man, it's really tough to get professional camera crew in or something, then they might be like, yeah, I'll totally do that. But one of the things when I get asked on a lot of podcasts, they're like, "Hey, I'll send you the whole entire thing. We'll break down your clips into little clips. So we'll give you clips afterwards. We'll post on your own social media, stuff like that." So I'll go to podcasts and I'll get like 18 clips that I can use on my own social media. I don't charge to be on podcasts because I wouldn't. My philosophy is if I wouldn't do it for free, then I don't want to do it. I mean, well, that being said, if you want to pay me $1 million to be on a podcast, I'll do it. So don't hear that I'm not buyable, but you can't buy me. But however, I'm not like, oh yeah, give me $500 to make a podcast or $1,000. It's not cheap at all. So if I wouldn't do it for free, I wouldn't do it. And then they'll go and they give me like 18 pieces of content or whatever it is, or the whole thing, and then I get to use it, and then we'll post you on our stuff. And most of the people that ask me to collab on, I'm actually bigger than them. But because then I get all these little clips, it's like, oh, I can own 18 pieces of content that I don't have to shoot a shot high quality. Yeah, yeah. How have you been since the last assault 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I need to turn my job in Phoenix to come out. Yeah, there you go. We'll do some content. Here I am at Ike Shehadeh, Phoenix. Look at these termite things. Oh my God, Ike, how do you get so many termites? My house is tasty, I guess. Yeah, that's awesome. What you're doing. So, so some of the things I would tell you is, like, you're already doing it. You're already doing it way better than a lot of other folks. And so you're just thinking that you're not doing it. And I'm not sure why it's not, like, where is it not clicking for you that you're just not on the way. Like, the difference between me and you is probably 10 or 12 years in my field versus 10 or 12 more years in my field. And imagine where you'd be in 10 or 12 more years. Today, I was talking to some folks, $1 billion company. They're in the middle of some stuff, and chatting about Ike's and them and maybe partnerships. And they were just like, the only difference between you and me is, we're just further along the path. Like, with no doubt that you'll be there soon. Whether that's 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15, 20, like, it's already inevitable. And and so for me, every whenever I look at my peers in my space, I automatically remind myself that if I looked at myself 10 years ago, I'd be like, "Holy crap! How did who is this person now?" Me comparing myself to me 10 years ago, like, just if I was two different businesses, I think that this current was way more successful than me. But in reality, it's the same exact me. It just took me 10 years to get here. And so the same version of you, where you have the goals that you want, where you are those things, you're as successful as you want to be. Because when you get there, you want to be more successful than that. How do you know? Because every time you've succeeded, you've been like, oh, I want to be more successful, I want to be more successful, and I want to be more successful. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's your body, your relationships, or money, or your business. So even me going, well, I'm really successful, I'm freaking phenomenally successful now, and I still would like to be here. You're already there. Just time hasn't enough time to get you there in real life. Actually, one of the topics I'm looking that I'm talking about in the podcast today is about specifically how practical professionals got to be patient. Patience. Oh yeah, like looking at my notes, I was going through my notes earlier. It's all about that, and like, oh yeah, that's right. You got to be, and it might set to be patient, but if it doesn't really matter, then it doesn't. What's the difference between something that happened to you when you're 10 that you like in 20? You do know how to do it. One brick at a time. What's up, Kashi? Yes. Yeah, there is. Did they not get you access to that yet? Let me look in to see what's up with that. Where that's at. Heck yeah. Awesome. Well, the next event is March 20th in person. In person, yeah. You know, in person. Yeah, yeah, in person. So we march instead of this thing on the 19th, March 20th, but in person. Yeah. Cool. See you soon. All right. You're welcome. Catch you later. All right, guys. Welcome to This is Food and Philosophy, episode 59. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Last we left off, where do we leave off? We left off on For Love of the Game. The For Love of the Game, which is also a great movie with Kevin Costner. To clarify a point about professionalism, the professional, though he accepts money, does his work out of love. He has to love it. Otherwise, he wouldn't devote his life to it of his own free will. The professional has learned, however, that too much love can be a bad thing. Too much love can make him choke. The seeming detachment of the cold-blooded character to his demeanor is compensating is a compensating device to keep him from loving the game so much that he freezes in action. Playing for money or adopting the attitude of one who plays for money lowers the fever. Remember what we said about fear, love, and resistance. The more you love your art, calling, enterprise, the more important its accomplishment is to the evolution of your soul. The more you will fear it, and the more resistance you will experience facing it. The payoff of playing the game for money is not the money, which you may never see anyway, even after you turn pro. The payoff is that playing the game for money produces the proper professional attitude. It inculcates the lunch pail mentality, a hardcore, hard head, hard hat state of mind that shows up for work despite rain or snow or dark of night and sugs it out day after day. The writer is an infantryman. He knows that progress is measured in yards of dirt extracted from the enemy one day, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time, and paid for in blood. The artist wears combat boots, He looks in the mirror and sees G.I. Joe. Remember, the moves and fingers are working stiffs. She hates prima donnas. To the gods, the supreme sin is not rape or murder, but pride. To think of yourself as a mercenary, I'm about to get banned on YouTube. To think of yourself as a mercenary, a gunfighter, implants the proper humility. It purges pride and preciousness. Resistance loves pride and preciousness. Resistance says, show me a to do good to take job X or assignment Y, and I'll show you a guy who can crack a walnut. Technically, the professional takes money. Technically, the pro plays for pay. But in the end, he does it for love. Now, let's consider what are the aspects of a professional. What's a Brit? All right. Another added benefit of doing things for the love of the game is that when you love it, you're doing it just out of love, you will become the greatest in that space for yourself. It's your greatest version of you because you love it and you're doing it for love. You're going to be the most resourceful here too. So you're going to do what it takes to study up on it. You're going to learn. You're going to be a creative genius in this area. You're going to be creative. You're going to want to learn. You're going to be really motivated to move forward in these spaces. You're going to be not only the most resourceful, the most great version of you, the most creative version of you, but you're actually going to do it too. Like it doesn't matter if you're creative if you don't ever actually create. It doesn't matter if you're resourceful if you don't go out and resource. It doesn't matter how great you are in this space if you don't go out there and move. So this is the added benefit of doing things for the love of the game rather than for the paycheck. You don't want to be a mercenary. You do the things that you love, and you will continue to do these things for free anyway. Like if you love doing it, you're doing it. Whether that's for me playing video games, or eating, or speaking, or traveling, or teaching, or cooking. What else? Reading, writing. I'm going to do them anyway. So why not be the resourceful in the space and then move towards the things that I want? Because you can do it anyway. So transforming it even into just an attempt to make money. So let's move one step back. What are the things right now that you're already doing? You're already doing it, and you're going to do it anyway. You're going to do it tomorrow anyway. You're going to do it the next day anyway. You're going to do it next week. Whatever are the things that you're already doing frequently? What are those things that you're already doing right now, even though you don't make any money at all doing it? In fact, some of the stuff you're probably even paying money to do. What are those things? Think of like one thing, two things, three things. It can be like 10 more seconds. What are three things that you already do? I'll give you one that's adult. Like I brush my teeth twice a day, every single day, sometimes more than twice a day. Nobody pays me to do that. I have to pay for a toothbrush. I have to pay for a toothpaste, right? So I pay money to do my teeth, to brush my teeth every single day. Wouldn't it then, like, I'm sure there's people right now that you pay money to watch them brush their teeth, whether because they're hot or because they're a genius, right? So what are things that you're doing anyway right now that you're doing for the love of the game? All right, likely you had thought of at least one. Write down all the things that you already do. This list will change your life. If you want added resource, go to drdmartini.com and go to his determine your value section, and you'll find that, oh my gosh, there's probably like 30 things right now that you're doing for free. So now that you've identified one thing or three or hopefully 20, if you can think about how to transform this into even just an attempt to make money, and I'm not like saying replace your career, although that would be amazing if you could, but attempt to make money doing it. This, even attempting to think about how to, if you're thinking about how I can attempt to make money with these things, that exercise alone will empower the hell out of you. It'll empower the hell out of you. It'll empower the hell out of you. it'll empower the hell out of you. It's going to be one of the most empowering things that you can ever do for your inspiration. And for your self-confidence as well, and for your connection to and for the universe, and your connection to and for others. You're gonna imagine doing what you love and attempting to turn that into a way to generate income, and by doing that, you're gonna be the most greatest person that you are, the most resourceful, the most creative, the most genius, right? Then that means everybody that you're coming in contact with, you're always going to be the most resourceful, creative, genius, and resourceful, whatever, in that space. So, how is that going to make everybody around you better? It's not going to make them worse. But I don't want to do what I love to do for money because then I won't love to do it anymore. Well, then that means you don't freaking love it. That's what that means. It means you don't love it. Don't tell me if you love it and you'll do it for free that all of a sudden somebody wants to give you $100 and all of a sudden you don't love it anymore. That's bullcrap. Like, what do you do right now that you if I give you $2,000 to hang out with your dog, are you all of a sudden gonna hate hanging out with your dog? I didn't freaking think so. So I don't want to hear that bullcrap from people, and because I get that so somebody tells me, but I don't want to do that. Well, then you don't want to do it for free either. You don't do it for the love of the game. You're an amateur. You're not a genius in that area. You're not creative. If you're not lying to yourself about that, you would also be like, oh, that's right. I'm only attempting to do it sometimes, and I don't actually love to do it. So I'm not talking about things that you say you wanna do, like you say you wanna travel, but you never actually travel, or you say you wanna help people, but you barely ever donate your time, and I'm not judging you if you do or you don't do any of those things. It's not about that. It's about what you say you wanna do and you doing them or you don't do them. That's what it's about. And so, why wouldn't you want to do the things that you love to do and then also generate an income doing it? Give me one reason why you wouldn't want to. What's something you do right now for free that you love to do? What is that? Age 74, if you're following at home. Slow and steady is how your skill set will grow. Your accomplishments will compound time over time over time as things go. Your accolades will pile up time over time over time. Just put one foot in front of the other. Move. The blessing that we have on this planet where time passes no matter what. You go sleep for 7 days. It's still going to be a week later if you slept for 7 days. It's still going to be time's still going to pass, whether you're really good at what you do or really bad at what you do, whether you're contributing to society or you're not contributing to society in your opinion, not anyone else's. Whether you're having a good life or a terrible life, it's just as likely that the time's just going to pass no matter what. And a quote from me, one of my favorite Ike Shehadeh quotes is, "It doesn't matter how much you make. If you do not do it for love, you're not a professional at all, and you can't be a professional. Even if you get paid, you're a mercenary. So if you do something for money, you're not a professional. You're a mercenary. If you don't love it. Somebody's like, well, hey, you don't like to do this, but I'm going to give you this money to do it. That means you're a mercenary. There's nothing wrong with being a mercenary, but you would rather make money doing something that you do than making money something that you don't like to do. If it's either make the same amount of money and it's something that you love and something that you don't love or you don't really care about that much, 100 out of 100 people will pick the thing that they love, regardless of what that thing is, to make the same amount of money. Stop being a mercenary right now. A professional. is patient. Resistance and outwits the amateur with the oldest trick in the book. It uses his own enthusiasm against it. Will you turn the music back on? I'm not sure why it turned off.
I don't know how to do that.
The music's over there on the computer.
Okay.
Resistance outwits the amateur with the oldest trick in the book.
I
He uses his own enthusiasm. Call Nico or someone. Okay. You don't have anybody's number?
I have Pat's number. I just don't have Nico's number. I can text Pat.
Resistance outweighs the amateur with the oldest trick in the book. It uses his own enthusiasm against it. Resistance gets us to plunge into the project with the overambitious and unrealistic timetable for its completion. It knows we can't sustain that level of intensity. We will hit the wall. We will crash. The professional, on the other hand, understands delayed gratification. He is the ant, not the grasshopper. He's the tortoise, not the hare. Have you heard the legend of Sylvester Stallone staying up 3 nights straight to turn out the screenplay for Rocky? I don't know. It may even be true. But the most pernicious species of myth is set before the awakening writer because it seduces him into believing he can pull off the big score without pain and without persistence. The professional arms himself with patience, not only to give the stars time to align in his career, but to keep himself from flaming out in each individual work. He knows that any job, whether it's novel or a kitchen, whether it's a novel or a kitchen remodel, takes twice as long as he thinks and costs twice as much. He accepts that. He recognizes it as reality. The professional steels himself at the start of a project, reminding himself that it is the Iditarod, not the 60-yard dash. He conserves his energy. He prepares his mind for the long haul. He sustains himself with the knowledge that if he can just keep those huskies mushing, sooner or later the sled will pull into Nome. A professional is patient. Our dreams, just like the universe, is a mirror with time delay. You go out and you put your dreams out, you put your wants, you go out and you do it and you do it and you do it and you do it and do it, and then the results come back. It's not like you work out, right? And then tomorrow you have abs, or you diet and tomorrow you have your body fat percentage at no, we understand that from the physical that it's cumulative, but we don't do the same with our mental feelings, our emotional feelings, or those kind of skills. You expect I went out and did one ad and I should have all this business, or you went out and you did one talk and you should have all these successes. You go out on one date, you should already be married to a perfect person. Our dreams is a mirror with time delay. And that's actually how the universe itself works. So all you have to do is keep focusing on the dream that you want. Just keep focusing on the dream that you want to be mirrored back to you. If you just keep focusing on the dream that you want mirrored back to you, eventually it has to be mirrored back. It has to get reflected back. What's up, Hollywood? It has to be reflected back. That's 2 mission peasies today. If you're not in it for the long haul, short haul. If you're not in it for the long haul, then you shouldn't be in it for short haul. Why would you do it for a little bit if you wouldn't do it for a long bit? Earlier today in the question and answer period, I said, do people offer to pay me for the podcast? And I'm like, if I wouldn't do your podcast for free, then why would I do it for money? Now, don't get me wrong, if they offer me $1 million, I'd be there tomorrow. $100,000, I'll be there tomorrow, even if I didn't want to do their podcast. But like when they're like, "Oh, I'll give you $1,000 or whatever," like I'm gonna fly out there and do all this stuff, and I don't even want to do your podcast. For $1,000, not even worth the effort that I've got to do. You want to come in front of my face and give me $1,000 to ask me some questions? I'll probably do that. but do like these whole podcasts and stuff. If I wouldn't do it for free, then I wouldn't do it for money. Same thing here. If you wouldn't do it for the short, if you won't do it for the long haul, then why would you do it for the short haul? Because you're a mercenary, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a mercenary. It's just we don't look at ourselves like that. We think we're every single human being on the planet overstates their importance. They think they come and they work for somebody else without the love of the game and just for money, so they're a mercenary, but they think that they know better than everybody else. They think that they should be different. They think that it should be the way that they want to do it versus what the way somebody else wants to do it. That's what they do. They think this, and then they go around and they're like, ooh, they go around and then they act like they're better than everybody. They think that they're God's gift to the business that they're working for. But if you're just doing it for money, then you ain't actually you're in fact you're stealing from the company. You should just be out of there. It'd be better if you weren't there because you're only there for the money, which means when somebody else comes with a little bit more money, you're gonna leave. It'd be like, oh hey, I'm gonna date you for a while, but as soon as somebody better than you comes along, then I'm just gonna drop you for them. You wouldn't want to date that person, right? You'd be like, oh well, sure, I'll do the same to you then, and I don't really care about you. And it's not really, it doesn't bother me or or whatever. It's not what I care about or not. So don't do that as a mercenary as well. And yes, I've certainly worked at places just for the money because I needed the money. Hey, gotta eat to live, gotta still to eat, right? But what best for you to do is to go then and find what it is that you do for the love of the game. So look at the things that you do right now without there being a reward or payment for them. What are the things you do right now without there being an award or reward or payment or something like that to doing them, and you do them anyway? Pretend that your dreams are one of these things. Pretend that whatever it is that you want to be doing with your life is one of these things, and go out and do those steps anyway. Do them steps anyway. And if you're like, well, I don't really want to, like if you and even then you don't end up doing it, putting a different mindset around it, like just do it anyway. Do what you love to do it anyway because you love to do it. And you're like, well, I don't want to. Then give up on the dream because it's not actually your dream. How do I know it's not your dream? Because you're not doing it right now. You're not doing it for free. If you're not doing it for free, you're not going to do it for pay. Maybe that's the real reason when somebody goes, well, I don't really want to do this thing that I barely ever do, this art that I barely ever touch, that I only do in my spare time when I happen to have it. I wouldn't want to do this for money because then I wouldn't love it anymore. How about this? You don't love it, which is why you don't do it for free, which is why you won't do it for money. That's the real reason why you wouldn't do it for money, is because you actually wouldn't do it for free. How do you know you wouldn't do it for free? Because you don't do it for free right now. You don't. You don't do it. You're not putting out art. You're not writing books. You're not singing. You're not doing these things. You're not putting yourself out there. You're making something else more important than that, which means that thing is in the way of your dream. It might even be your dream, your real dream. Don't go by what you think you want to do. Go by what you actually do. Right? If you're in a relationship with somebody and they kept telling you that they're going to do this, telling you that they love you, but they never showed you that they love you, and they actually did the things that they said that they were going to do, you'd probably be like, oh, no, you just don't love me, right? We don't look at ourselves and have these honest questions and of ourselves and ask us and oh my gosh, actually there's some honest feedback for myself. I don't do it, so obviously I don't love it. So it makes sense why I wouldn't want to do it for money too. It's not your dream if you're not doing it already for free. And then if you do it for free, then you're an idiot if you don't do it for money. So look at where you don't want to do something for money because it'll take the love away from you. And I challenge you that it's not what you love to do. You're lying to yourself. So just throw that in the trash. It's not your dream that somebody else is doing an artist because you like the accolade. You want to do these things because you want tangential stuff, like you want to be famous or you want to be successful. You want to look cool in front of your friends, your family. Okay, how do you know you want to do something? It's because you're freaking doing it. That's the only way to know if you want to do something. If you're doing it, great. If you're not doing it, then you don't want to do it. If you're not doing it, you don't. Because with everything, whether you're successful at it or not yet, if you just only keep putting your foot in motion, taking one step and then one step and one step, time will automatically take care of the rest. Time will take care of the rest. The universe will mirror it back to you, your dreams, what you put out there, step by step. Ooh, baby, gonna get to your goals if you just do the steps, and by step, and by step, by step, by step. So I'll leave you with this. Where have you achieved a goal that you felt like took forever, or it might have even took a long time? It might have taken forever. Where have you achieved a goal that you felt like was taking forever, but that you actually achieved it, even if it did take forever? It still became real, right? Even though maybe the time frame was a little bit longer than you wanted it to. So if it still became real, bring that awareness to any goal that you have right now that you're feeling is not coming to fruition as fast as you want it to be coming to fruition. Bring that awareness to your current goals that you think are taking longer, a physical goal, a love goal, a money goal, a business goal, whatever, a social goal or a spiritual goal. Step by step, you'll get there. So bring that awareness of all the past things that you've achieved in your life, especially the ones that took a while, and use that awareness here and now with these new things. And I'll leave it to some questions. I got a couple more minutes left. I'll give you like 30 seconds if you're typing over here or over here or over here. All right, 10 seconds. Or forever hold your peace. And forever hold your peace. All right, we are done. When the universe gives you what you would like, great. And when it doesn't give you what you would like, even better. Your well being is your greatest contribution to humanity. No exceptions ever. Love you.